Hello and welcome back to the top 100 maps of all time with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. Yes, we're looking at the cream of the crop, the top 0.2% of all maps on the workshop, as voted by you at the end of What's Map over the last 4.5 years, and the very cream of the crop from before that time as well. What have we got today? Well, it's a map inspired by Northern Italy by another much loved creator. One I think is probably as good with their city builds as they are with their map builds. They are a truly great creator, this one. Today's map at number 83 with an 86.5 approval rating. It's Provincia Calvino by funchenstein. Now, this map was uploaded to the workshop in November of 2019. At the time of recording this show, it has 851 subscribers. 211 of them have favorited the map. It's got a 4-star rating on Steam with 90 raters. Raters? I guess that's correct, isn't it? 90 people who have rated it. It uses the Laviante 2.0 theme and the Laviante LUT as well, which makes this map feel a little bit more realistic than yesterday's. Yesterday's was more fantastical. Beautiful map. Great map. Check out yesterday's show if you want a beautiful, fantastical map. This one just feels a little bit more laid back. A little bit more easygoing. Doesn't mean it's not going to be a great map. It just means it's going to be just more gentle on the eye, I feel. We reviewed this back in What's Map 795, where I gave it 4 stars for aesthetics, 4 stars for detail, and 4 stars for gameplay potential, which are all good scores. The map only has 7 requirements. That does include the theme and the LUT. It uses network extensions too. There are 3 different sorts of trees on the map, as well as using the old unlimited tree mod. So if you switched over to Tree Anarchy and you want to play this map, you might have to switch back. It may load with Tree Anarchy, it may not, but just in case, I'm just saying. And so, yeah, it's just a green map. With you'll see the old ridge running along here. We've got pre-cut harbours. We've got a beautifully realistic feeling layout of the highways. So we've got switchbacks going up the hills. You can see we've got some pre-cut quarries as well. All of that feels great. Now the start square, I think, was about here. Let me just check. Yeah, here we go. So where this you can see there's a bridge here. When we get to that bridge, we'll stop flying along and we'll have a little look down below. I think we'll start down here. Why not? Let's have a little look at... Are you going to start simulation? Thank you very much. That'd be very helpful. So the river right on the very edge here, it spins off the edge of the map. I guess that controls river flow. I don't have any problems with that. I just anything this deep in the fog doesn't really matter that much anyway. But yes, it's always a little discussion point. Beautiful map. Laviante, of course, a very popular theme as well, and the LUT also. Quite often you'll see Laviante LUT used with non-Laviante themes, and it almost always looks great. Almost always. Pretty much always. I say almost always. I can't remember a time when it didn't. So there will have been one time where I said, oh, if we could have switched to relight average or something boring and mundane like that. But yeah, it's a great combo. If you're looking for a green map, then you can't go far wrong with Laviante and Laviante. Double Laviante, is what I say. Tunnel through the hill. I think... Does it emerge here or does it emerge over there? I've got to check. It emerges over here. That's okay. That's all right. Icania. Bring back Icania's magic tunnels. The amount of time that I spent getting lost looking for the tunnel exits on Icania's, Laviante's maps. Icania's maps. It's the big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. Now, the start square is a little bit different here. Because you see we've got the highway running through the map. Well, there's no intersection down here. And we have a highway running through here. And there's also no start square intersection. I feel that the start square is being fed mostly by this little dumbbell interchange here. With traffic feeding off of this highway down via the double roundabouts onto another roundabout over here. Little game lag there, sorry for that. And then that will lead us through into this buildable area here. It's not super flat, but that's easily fixed in game. You can do that with terrain tools, or you can just work with the curvature of the map. A lot of people like that, and I don't see any reason why we should grumble against it. We've got rail running across very close here as well, so possibility of maybe doing some sort of station or depot in this area, maybe, I'm thinking. Definitely feels like a thing that could be done. And then we have we've got this double rail line feeding through this way, and is that heading off towards the edge of the map? I think that one is. It's such a lovely sweeping map that it's very hard. It's one of those maps I think you have to sit back and really absorb the actual routes that the highways and the rail, the pre-built highways and rail networks take, so that you can actually plan correctly and make sure that you are using the networks that are in place to their best. I mean, the double rail, I know there are a lot of people that really do appreciate this, because you can have one for cargo, one for residential. Keep those two things completely separate. It does help declog your rail lines. It's always a well appreciated thing. I did see a rail line. Sorry, I don't remember this map at all. I really don't. I rated it highly, but it's not one that's stuck in the memory. Back to that start square, there was a rail on the other side of down here. There was a rail down here. Now, where's that coming from and going to? Because I suggested this, game lag again. Sorry about that. I suggested this for the start square, but where is that coming from and where is it going to? It's following a very interesting coastal route. Very interesting. Loops around this way. It's looping back in. So it's a loopy loop. And then that heads off towards the edge of the map very clearly over there. Wondering where does it go into the map, I feel, probably. So here we go. And that then heads up underneath the big old bridge. Everybody loves a big old bridge. And we head via a tunnel here. Actually, back where we started. That's where we started the show, up there. So yeah, well, we got rail running through the middle of the map. We've got highways on either side of Start Square here. I reckon that's your Start Square intersection as it stands. You may obviously want to work something. How you work something else into this, I do not know. But that is the city builder's problem, not the map reviewer's problem. although it can make for a bit of fun, can't it? If we come up to the top, we have this ridge. We have this ridge that separates the lowland from the highland. I'll take the high road. No, that's Scottish, isn't it? We do have a couple of more than a couple. We have a few pre-cut quarries, which I think that's something I definitely think about when you come to northern Italy, is some quarries. I don't know if that's where the marble came from, but maybe the old I was going to say Egyptian, the Roman marble. It had to come from somewhere. Maybe somebody can educate me in the chat. I have another game like this. Sorry about that. I have no knowledge of where the. I would have thought not too far from Rome, surely. But yeah, they had their trade networks, didn't they, the Romans? So maybe it did come from a little bit further afield. Maybe it did come from this region of northern Italy. Again, it would make sense to me, but I'll leave it to one of you. One of you will be a Roman historian, and you can let us know. I'll try to remember to pin the comment if you do actually let us know. I don't have time to check right now, but yeah, we got. I mean, the quarries, for what they are, these are absurd, and for what the map is. Again, you can always balance. If these were the quarries on yesterday's map, I think it might lower the score of yesterday's map a bit, because yesterday's map was insanely detailed and insanely worked. This map just lightly worked. It's worked well. I'm not complaining. The complexity of the tree patterns and the way that they break up the environment beautifully and help to accent the hills and the valleys has been done really very well indeed. I have zero complaints about the tree work. But again, if you look at the style of the quarries, I feel it works really well with the style of the tree painting. So it's a combination, and also in the way that we have the texture of the hill ridge. All of this comes together, I feel, really well indeed for a complete package. Now, if we leave the land and come out to the water, we do have a few dotted islands here. We have the pre-cut harbours, as previously mentioned, without the quays along the side, which will please a lot of people. Again, the quays do add a nice aesthetic to the map, but also make it a little bit more difficult for placing of harbours. You know, some people, especially if you're not playing with Anarchy, will have to demolish quays, and of course it can then cause water issues. So yeah, that's without the quays in place will definitely please some people. Of course, if you're going to be doing pre-cut harbours like this, you have to work with the grid of the map, so we can actually see that this is square to the map. If you try to do that on an angle, you would get a zigzag going on. So yeah, good work there from funchenstein, using the map to its top potential. And then over here we have a few little dotted offshore islands, maybe one for me to settle on a little bit away from the hoi polloi over there. Just, yeah, I like to have my own island on these maps to put my little mansion, my little burnt out shack. Yeah, it's a very nice map. Very clean, very crisp, very visually appealing. It has its challenges, and we do have these this side river going on here as well, lake at the top. We have switchback roads going up into the hills. The big old bridge. We have the big old bridge. We've got a good-sized bay with a good-sized harbour. Pre-cut quarries for working ore. Do you know what? It's a very clean, tidy, crisp, well-worked map. And I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased that there are maps like this, which are maps that don't scream out, I have to be played. They're just good quality maps. And I'm glad that some of them have made it into the top 100. I am really glad of it. It doesn't need to be a masterpiece, a work of perfection to make the top 100. It's just a good, solid, nice looking, well planned out, well worked map. And funchenstein has done that here with Provincia Calvino. 86.5%, the first of our 86.5%ers. And that concludes that. Well, we've got another one tomorrow as we go up to number 82. Another map creator that I'm sure that you'll have heard of if you've watched any What's Map or spent any time looking at the workshop. So there's one to look forward to. It's going to be a good one. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing, and thanks to all the BonBon buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership. You guys really do support the channel beautifully, and I love you all more and more and more. Even more than I'd love my cat if I owned one, but I don't, so I can't. I've been BonBonB, you've been very, very welcome, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.